Happy Monday morning, second period. I hope you've had a marvelous weekend. 4 more days to spring break 2K17. Today we're going to continue practicing our learning target that we've been working on for the last couple days. Let's go over it. I can use the law of sines or the law of cosines to solve oblique triangles. Remember, oblique triangles are triangles that are not right triangles. Right triangles means they do not have a 90-degree angle. If they have a 90-degree angle, we can use our basic trig ratio, sine, cosine, tangent, to find missing sides and missing angles. Alright, before we get started, I need you to have one last cell phone check before we get started. And Matthew Walker, get your hand out of the Jolly Ranchers, please, at this time. Alright, once you've copied your learning target down and you checked your cell phone, I need you to turn to page 168 in your workbook. Page 168 in the workbook. We were working on this on Friday, and I told y'all please work on 1 through 6. Make sure you had at least 1 through 6 before you came in here. Does everybody have their homework? That's the million-dollar question. Alright, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go work through 1 through 6 right now, and then I'm going to randomly assign some of these for you to do today, and we're going to continue practicing this. Tomorrow when I get back, I will go over the ones that you did, and we will start reviewing for our test. It's going to be either Wednesday or Thursday this week, okay? Wednesday or Thursday this week. Alright, so let's look at number 1. I'm going to draw number 1 on here. And if you already know how to do number 1, that is great. I'm proud of you, but I still want to go over it just to make sure. Alright. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. So on number 1, we have a triangle. I'm so excited about figuring this out. I'm going to start videoing more lessons for you. Alright, so the first thing you need to do, like we always do, is label what we do not know, what we need to find. We need to find angle A, angle B, and this is side C. Okay. Now, before we start solving this problem, let's remember. When is it appropriate to use which ones? Law of sines or law of cosines? Okay. If you just remember this, law of cosines is when you have side, 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 or side, angle, side. If you have those two cases, you have to use law of cosines. Any other, you use law of sines. So it's easy just to remember law of cosines, the two cases of that. Alright, and remember in law of cosines, the angle is in between the two sides. Angles in between the two sides. Alright, so here I have two sides and I have the angle in between two sides, so this is calling out law of cosines. Law of cosines. So here's law of cosines. Alright, so you know the law of cosine formulas are those long formulas. And I'm going to use the one that is c squared equals a squared plus b squared minus 2ab cosine of c. And the reason I chose this one, guys, if you think about it, I want to find the side. I'm finding that missing side, because if I find this missing side, guys, what can happen then is after I find this missing side, I will know an angle and a side across from it. Then I can use the law of sines for the rest of them. Okay, so here I go. C squared equals a across from a is 12, so that's 12 squared plus 7 squared. B is little b is across from angle B minus 2 times 12 times 7 cosine of 80. I'm going to clean it up just a little bit. 144 plus 49. Alright, now make sure you're watching how I type this in the calculator, because some of us are still having trouble with this. I'm going to type the entire line, 144. But first of all, always check to make sure your calculator's in degree mode. Okay. 144 plus 49 minus 2 times 12 times 7 cosine of 80. You see that big number right there. Now I'm going to take the square root of that. And to put that under my square root, you hit second down here. You see this called answer. Well, that's what you can put right there. Alright. And I get C is equal to 12.8. Okay, so I found 12.8. So I'm going to put 12.8 right here. Now that I know this and this, what I can do is use this to help find A and B. So I'm going to use law of sines, okay? I'm going to come over here. Sine of 80 over 12.8, what I just found, equals sine of A over 12. Cross multiply. I'm not showing you all these steps. We should know this by now. But I'm just multiplying. 11.8177 equals 12.8 sine of A. I'm going to divide both sides by 12.8. I'm looking for an angle, so I'm going to hit second sine. Type that in. And I get 67.4 equals capital A. It does matter that you have a capital A there because you're looking for an angle. Don't put lowercase. So 67.4 degrees. Well, guys, now that I know this angle and I know my 80 degree, I can add those up and subtract it from 180 to find angle B. You don't have to show me that. Just put that in the calculator. 67.4 plus 80 minus 180. And you get 32.6 degrees. Most of y'all did good on that. The ones that showed me that on Friday. Now looking at number 2. And by the way, sophomores, you did awesome on your interim assessment. I'm really proud of you. I'm going to talk to you more about that yesterday. Very good job on that. Awesome. All right. Number 2. Let's draw this triangle out. All right, let's look at what we're missing here, guys. Well, all we know is side, so that's screaming law of cosines, law of cosines, law of cosines. So, we're going to put angle A, angle B, and angle C. Okay? Guys, it really doesn't matter which law of cosines formula you use here because you don't know any of the angles. So I'm just going to pick with A. I'm just going to go with A. A squared equals B squared plus C squared minus 2BC cosine of A. We know the side across from capital A is the lower A. So I know this is 4 squared equals B squared is 3 squared plus 6 squared, 6 is C, minus 2 times 3 times 6 cosine of A. Okay, let's clean this up a little bit, okay? That gives me 16 equals 9 plus 36. That's going to be negative 36 cosine of A. Okay? We look at this. Okay, what can we combine? Well, I can combine the 9 and 36. That gives me 45 minus 36. Don't you dare do this. You see it's 45 minus 36 cosine A. That's not equal to 9 cosine. These are not like terms. This is not, please don't put 9 cosine A. What you can do now is you want to get this variable by itself, so you're going to move that 45 over. It becomes a negative 45. Okay? That gives me negative 29 equals negative 36 cosine of A. Now, I want to finish getting this by itself, so I'm going to divide both sides by negative 36. Boom. You know a negative divided by negative is a positive, so you really don't have to put the negatives in there. Now, since I'm looking for an angle, I'm going to hit second cosine, 29 divided by 36. The reason I didn't put my negatives in there, a negative divided by negative is a positive. If you put your negatives, it would be the same thing. Promise. All right, so you get A equals 36.3 degrees. Okay, so I know my value of A is 36. Please remember create a list so it's easy for me to grade. 36.3 degrees, and it's easy to keep your stuff organized. Now, guys, since you know angle A, now that you know this is 36.3 degrees, you know an angle and you know a side across from it. Well, then you can use law of sines. Law of sines is a lot less all this computation as much as cosine is required. So I'm going to just go sine of 36.3 over 4 equals, I'm going to find angle B, sine of B over 3, cross multiply. So I got sine, if you have trouble typing stuff in, times 3. I'm going to go to 4 decimal places in the problem. I'm going to divide by 4. Well, since I'm looking for my angle, I'm going to type this second sine, 1.7760, divide by 4, and that gives me 26.4. So B equals 26.4 degrees. Remember, you said, Mr. Chester, these triangles don't look, you can't judge, it's not drawn to scale, okay? So it's okay. It's okay. All right, so now I got these two angles, 36.3 plus 26.4. Subtract that from 180 to find that third one, and I get 117.3. Boom. There you go. If you can do that one, you can handle any problem I give you. That's one of the harder, lengthier ones. All right, let's look at number 3. Hold on, I'm going to give you a little time to look at that one. If you need to pause right now, you can at my work. All right, let's look at number 3. Is this a side, 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 or side angle side situation? No, it is not. So you don't do law of cosines, you do law of sines. And you can easily see this because don't you know an angle and a side opposite of it? So let's locate everything we're missing. Angle B, side A, and side B. Okay? We can find angle B really quickly because we can just add 80 and 40, which is 120. 180 minus 120 is 60 degrees. All right, so now I'm gonna start with what I was given for sine of 40 over 30 equals sine of 80. I'm gonna look for A right there. I'm gonna cross multiply. It gives me A times sine of 40 equals sine of 80 times 30. Let's talk about how you plug this in. Sine of 80 times 30, 29. You see I got that? Right there. Okay. Now I'm going to divide both sides by sine of 40. So 29.5442 divided by sine of 40. I'm going to make sure you see I've typed that in the calculator. Boom. There you see. Okay. You get 45.96. Well, when that 6 rounds that 9 up to 46.0. So A equals 46.0. Alright, now let's find B. Start with our given. Sine of 40 over 30 equals sine of 60 over B. Cross multiply. B times sine of 40 equals sine of 60. Sine of 60 times 30. Okay? 25.9808. I'm going to divide both sides by sine of 40. And I get 40.4. Okay. Make sure we set it up correctly. Okay, I'm going to do 2 more and then I'm going to let you practice some, okay? If you need to pause, you can at this time. All right, let's look at number 4. Okay, here they give you A equals 16, B equals 20, and capital C is equal to 54 degrees. Okay, you need to draw your picture so you can see what's going on, okay? A, B, C. Okay. Remember, my picture won't be perfect. I'm just drawing a rough sketch. Okay, across from A would be 16. Across from B would be 20. Angle C is 54. Yes, it looks more than that, like I said. Don't judge your picture. All right. Now, if you look at this, guys, we have an angle in between two sides. That's a side angle side situation. Remember, the only ones you got to remember, if it's side angle side or side, it's the law of cosines. But you also can just think of it this way. Do you have an angle and a side across of it that you know? No, so you can't do law of sines here. All right, so since we've got C here, we know the angle. We're going to find side C, okay? So I'm going to go C squared equals A squared plus B squared minus 2AB cosine of C. C squared equals 16 squared plus 20 squared minus 2 times 16 times 20 times cosine of 54. Clean it up. That's going to be 256 plus 400 minus all this. Now I'm going to type that in my calculator, so make sure we know how to do that. 256 plus 400 minus 2 times 16 times 20 times the cosine of 54. Alright, now I'm going to take the square root of that. And I got 16.7. 16.7. Now, Mr. Esther did no, he did not put what he's missing here. So let's come under. I'm missing angle A, angle B, and side C. Well, I found side C to be 16.7. Now that I know this, I know an angle on the side across of it, I can use the law of sines to find a missing angle. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to find angle A, so I'm going to start with what I know. Sine of 54 over 16.7 equals sine of A over 16. Cross multiply. Sine of 54 times 16 is 12.9443. 16.7 times sine of A. I'm going to divide both sides by 16.7. I have a capital A. That means I'm looking for an angle. I'm hitting second sine. So here I go. Second sine 12.9443 divided by 16.7 gives me 50.8. So capital A is 50.8 degrees. I'm going to put that here. Now that I know 50.8 and the 54, I can find my angle B. Add them up and subtract from 180. Get 75.2 degrees. Okay. Last one I'm going to do is number 5. We're given B is equal to 71 degrees. C is 6. A is 11. Okay, so let's draw a picture here. Once again, the picture would not be perfect. It's a rough sketch. We are not having a cell phone break right now. Please get off your cell phones. You can in just a minute. Alright, let's look at what we have here. Guys, we have two sides and an angle in between them. So once again, we have side, angle, side. Automatically, choo-choo, that's law of cosines. That should come to you automatically, law of cosines. Alright, so we're going to find the B value. Well, let's list everything we're missing. We're missing side B, angle A, and angle C. Okay, B squared equals A squared plus C squared minus 2AC cosine of B. We do not know what little b is. We're going to leave it b. A squared is 11 squared. C is 6 minus 2 times 11 times 6. Cosine of 71. Let's clean it up. B squared equals 121 plus 36 minus 2 times 11 times 6 times cosine of 71. Alright, let's plug that in our calculator. 121 plus 36 minus 2 times 11 times 6 times cosine of 71, close parentheses. Make sure you close your parentheses. Look how I have that written. Please check your calculator this time. Hit enter. Okay, I'm going to take the square root of that. I'm going to find my answer button. That's down here, right here. Okay, put that under the square root. And I get 10.7. So B is equal to 10.7. Well, guys, that's great news, because guess what now we got? We got an angle and a side across of it. I can use the law of sines to finish solving the problem. So I'm going to look for A now. I'm going to use my known sine of 71 over 10.7. 10.7 equals sine of A over 11. Cross multiply. I get 10.4007 equals 10.7 sine of A. I'm going to divide both sides by 10.7. I'm looking for capital A, so I'm going to hit second sine. 10.4007 divided by 10.7. And I get 76.4. So A is equal to 76.4 degrees. Well, guys, if you know angle A and you know angle B, you can find angle C by saying 76.4 plus 71. Subtract it from 180, and it's 32.6. You know it's 32.6 degrees. The main goal of today was to give you 5 more examples on law of sines and law of cosines to make you feel better about it. And now what I want you to do is practice it. So for the remainder of the period, I want you to work on page 168, this page that we've been on, and make sure you have numbers 6 through 15 completed by tomorrow. If you got them all completed, great, you have no homework. But if you don't finish this by class, then you need to finish it for homework. I hope you have a great day, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Be good, and I will be back tomorrow in 0 period. Have a great day. Bye.